We are continuing on with our 50-year our 50-year celebration of hip hop in 2023. And we're going to continue on with the celebration when we are going to delve into, hip hop has a lot of collabs. So we're going to get into who invented the collab of hip hop. Let's check this part out, y'all. This reaction. I'm going to come back with my reaction. Hit the thumbs up button, guys. Appreciate you guys watching.
Engaged in tag team rhyming on We Wanna Party, a cut from the Brooklyn Rappers' gold certified 1987 album,
Dana
Dana
Dane.
Dane with Fame.
Best
Another
Dana
early
Dane of fame.
example
Y'all
was
just
Marley
backing it.
Marl's landmark 1988 single, The Symphony, which featured Master Ace, Craig G, Cool G Rap, and Big Daddy Kane, members of his Juice Crew stable of artists. The Symphony stands in rap lore as the first posse
Symphony.
cut and is widely revered as the best by many rap scholars. On the gangster rap side of things, in 1988, Eazy-E featured fellow NWA member MC Ren on Two Hard Mothers on his Easy Does It LP,
Two Hard Mothers,
while NWA featured the
song.
DOC on Parental Discretion is Advised, a straight outta Compton cut. Dr. Dre and Yella produced both of these songs. Fellow Compton rap artist King T featured raps from his producer DJ Pooh on several cuts from his 1988 album, Act a Fool. The other way rappers collaborated with other acts was to feature artists outside of their immediate circle on their material. This type of collaboration became popular in 1988 and 1989. Too Short featured Rappin' Forte and Danger Zone on Don't Fight the Feeling, a song from his double platinum album, Life is Too Short.
Too short.
Another early example arrived in 1989 when Big Daddy Kane featured Nice and Smooth on his Pimpin' Ain't Easy, which appeared on his gold It's a Big Daddy Thing LP. A year later, Public Enemy featured Ice Cube and Big Daddy Kane on Burn Hollywood Burn, a single
I was a little kid when all this stuff came out, man. I still remember it,
from their platinum Fear of a Black Planet album. But these types of songs were still the exception rather than the rule, even though they were becoming increasingly popular by the time Dr. Dre released The Chronic in 1992. True, DJ Quick had taken things a step further by featuring Protégé's AMG and Second to None on a couple of songs each on his 1991 Quick is the Name, but those were album cuts. Then Dr. Dre changed the way rap albums are put together and artists are promoted. Dr. Dre put Snoop Dogg on more than half of the Chronic songs, and more importantly, on his singles, the biggest, most promoted songs on The Chronic, as well as the pre-The Chronic Dr. Dre single, Deep Cover. By default, Snoop Dogg had a massive built-in audience. He had indeed become the hottest rapper in the world without having released an album of his own.
Snoop was like Drake back then.
Snoop Dogg felt free as he worked on his debut album. I had no concerns of what I was supposed to do, Snoop Dogg said. It was carefree. I was back in the studio making some more music. This time, it's my record. Same energy, same everything. I don't have an on-off switch or a medium. I've got to go. My shit is just go, and that's what it is. That's why the transformation was so easy to go from The Chronic to my record. You never heard the same rhymes, the same styles. You never heard that because I was an MC. I was lyrical, so when you load up, I'm ready to go. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I've got to make this record better than The Chronic. That expectation wasn't on my shoulders because I didn't give a fuck. But the run-up to the album was clouded with uncertainty regarding Snoop Dogg's life and career. On August 25th, 1993, Snoop Dogg was allegedly driving a Jeep in the Palms section on the west side of Los Angeles. The people in the Jeep purportedly got into a heated exchange with Philip Waldemariam, a gang member. After originally leaving the scene, the Jeep later returned. A passenger in the Jeep then shot Waldemariam, and the 25-year-old died soon thereafter. Snoop Dogg turned himself into police on September 4th, a day after he presented the winner of the Rhythm and Blues category of the MTV Video Music Awards. Snoop
Oh yeah.
Dogg and his passengers told police that Walter Merriam approached their vehicle, brandishing a firearm, which led one of Snoop Dogg's passengers, who told police that he
They
was the
arrested
rapper's
him.
bodyguard, to fire several shots at Walter Merriam. According to Detective David Strachey, other witnesses said Walter Merriam did not have a gun.
Oh yeah, David Kenner.
David Kenner, Snoop Dogg's attorney, said that Walter Merriam had been threatening the rapper for 3 months prior to the shooting.
Mm.
This shooting was the result of self-defense following a series of assaults and threats against Snoop, Kenner said. Snoop Dogg was released on bail on September 4th under charges of first and second degree murder. He was eventually found not guilty. Legal problems
Yeah, for
notwithstanding,
life for that.
Snoop Dogg was riding high on the success of The Chronic. He established himself as a solo star with the October 1993 release of Who Am I? What's My Name? The single was as much a coronation of Snoop Dogg as the new face of rap in general, and Gangsta.
I thought that album came out in '94. I thought '93 was. I guess it came out in '90. Okay, I don't know. Well, when did The Chronic come out? '92.
Rap specifically, as it was a celebration of Snoop Dogg himself. The song's hook featured a chorus of people singing Snoop Doggy Dogg, similar in tone and feel to George Clinton's Atomic Dog, which Who Am I? What's My Name? Sampled. So although the Long Beach, California rapper started off his first verse talking about how he was selling cocaine, how he was willing to put money in on buying weed with his friends, and why he wasn't hesitant to shoot someone, the song's up-tempo, funky vibe made it all sound deliberately fun and celebratory. Like Nothing But a G Thing and Let Me Ride Before It, Who Am I? What's My Name? Was a new chapter in gangsta rap.
Yeah, okay,
It was
Snoop now.
feel-good
Jesus.
gangsta rap starring Snoop Dogg. Even though the sound and feel of the music played a major role in how the music was received, Snoop Dogg's
Yo looked
voice,
younger than him,
delivery,
and
and
he was in
demeanor
prison.
also played a huge part in his popularity. Schoolie D, Ice-T, and members of NWA were often brash and aggressive, typically rapping with what sounded like a snarl. By contrast, Snoop Dogg delivered his rhymes in a calm, laid-back, and comforting manner chock full of charisma, and with only a smidgen of menace. It was as if a friend had pulled you to the side to have a private conversation. Snoop brought the smooth gangster style to the game, longtime collaborator Warren G said. With Who Am I? What's My Name? Taking the music world by storm and Snoop Dogg facing murder charges, there was significant buzz for his November 1993 release, Doggy Style. Snoop Dogg is an amazing artist, and his album is by far the most anticipated rap album in years, said John Schechter, then editor of The Source magazine, the leading rap magazine at the time. According to Schechter, Snoop Dogg being charged with murder would only make the record blow up even bigger because it will generate even more curiosity among those who have never heard of him. Consumers showed just how much they wanted Doggy Style. The Dr. Dre produced album made history by being the first debut album to enter the Billboard charts at #1.
They need to have.
Despite never having released an album, Snoop Dogg had the best-selling album in music the first week Doggy Style arrived in
They need to have
stores.
that rapper Doggy Style play Snoop biopic. Part 2 coming soon. They need to have the. Do y'all know? Have y'all ever heard of Doggy Style? He's an underground rapper. He's getting some buzz though, off of social media. But he looks like Snoop. He dresses like Snoop, and I believe he's a Crip too. I think he's out of San Bernardino, but he can rap too. He got some good flows. But um, they getting ready to do this Death Row movie about Death Row. If they don't pick him to be Snoop Dogg, go look up Doggy Style. He's a rapper from San Bernardino. Look up Google. I don't know. I think he spells it 4 E's at the end. But look him up. He looks if he and I think he had said on a live stream that he was in talks with Snoop people to possibly play Snoop in the Death Row biopic. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, if the dude can act and he even he got that like that California Snoop swag. I mean, they both from California, so he already got that kind of gangbangers like LA, like that West Coast swag, and he also can be laid back. He's not as laid back as Snoop, but he I can see him getting there, you know. So I think he'd be perfect. But I was just wanting to go back and look at something real quick, y'all. Let me go back. Where is it at? Where that picture at? Of Dr. Dre and all them. Here we go. Look at Dre. This is the picture they took right after Harry O. Let me see. Harry O got out of prison right after. If y'all don't know who Harry O is, look him up. Harry O is supposedly like the backer of the first Death Row. He was a convicted drug dealer, big drug kingpin in the 80s in South Central LA. He ended up doing like 30 some years. But anyway, he just recently got out, and Snoop Dogg made him the CEO of the new Death Row, which they haven't came out with any artists. You ever heard anything about any artists coming out? No, nobody, no new artists they signed or anything. You know, you thought by now you would have heard something, but maybe Snoop got some stuff in the works. But I think it'd be dope if he could bring the old people back from Death Row, like Rage, Dog Pound, maybe Danny Boy, like what's ever left of the old Death Row, and start bringing in some new people from LA, from Long Beach, some new rappers, and then mixing them in. It'd have been dope if Jewel would have lived. You know, rest in peace to Jewel. Jewel used to do all the background singing, all the R&B uh like hooks and stuff on their music Death Row had back in the day. Jewel did all that for the Chronic. She did it for All Eyes on Me for Snoop for Tupac. So, but unfortunately, she passed on. But I want to I want to rewind this picture back. Look at Dre. Dre is aged. Man, he's pushing 60, but Dre looked good for a long time. Up until he went through that divorce, and then he had that aneurysm, that brain injury that almost took him out. He almost died. But leading up to his divorce and that whole divorce process, Dre looked so young. He looked good. He was fit. He still had his hair. Like he wasn't grand too much. Go look at a picture of Dre before maybe a year before the divorce was announced, or before the divorce started going down. Dre looked at it a lot. That divorce aged him. That divorce aged him. He had that brain aneurysm that she was stressed. But you know what though? She was trying to take Dre's name. I think Dre was gonna give her like 50 million. Now she was like, nah. She was like, I want half your name. Like she wanted like half the You know how much Dr. Dre's name is worth? Connected to the Beats thing, his catalog, his music catalog. That's worth millions and millions of dollars. And like I think he was trying to give her like a house and 50 million. She was like, nah, nigga. I want she wanted half of that billion. And he was like, no, like our kids are grown. He was like, 50 million, you don't do nothing. You're not involved in it, but I guess she wanted his name and the whole nine, you know. But I don't know, I just noticed that in this video that ever since that, because then I think they showed a picture after he recovered from the aneurysm. He was in the studio with Snoop, and they showed a picture of him. I was like, whoa! I was like, damn, that's Dre. He looked completely different, but hey, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you marry the wrong woman, but that's another story, guys. Anyway, what do y'all think about this video? Leave your comments, subscribe to Charles in This World. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Appreciate you guys watching. Take care.